Hey guys, I am Beltran. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today's video subject matter is what has the right done for society? Now, a lot of you probably are aware that a lot of groups exist, whether they be on Messenger with Facebook or on Twitter or wherever it may be. I'm in a lot of groups on Telegram, and in some of these groups sometimes you get information from other people. And so it was not too long ago that I released a video called How Evil is the Left, and there was a Facebook leftist page, which shall remain nameless, that stated that it's very easy to find everything wrong with one side when that is what your conclusion is always going to be. But I disagree with that statement. Why do I disagree with that statement? Because one, I had comment after comment after comment after comment of things that the left had in fact said. These were anecdotal. These were not from other people that I didn't know, although there was some of that in my video as well. And then a woman claimed, "Oh, Claudia, you stumble across our page, do you? Well, just so you know, this is other things that the left is responsible for." And this woman claimed that the left was responsible for women's rights and stopping slavery and all those sorts of things. And I realized just how ignorant and just how stupid or deluded or just how much of a lie they operate under. They don't know. They genuinely don't know. And it's really pathetic. So this is my video to you guys today, and I wasn't able to get through the whole list, but today we are going to deal with some of it. So strap on your seatbelts, buckle up, and listen to what the right has done for society. Things the left think they did. The Republican Party, the right, Christians, was created in 1854. It was in 1856 when they held their meetings, and their major platforms were to abolish slavery and polygamy. The Democrats at that time were such delicate lefty babies that upon Abraham Lincoln's rise into office, the Democrats chose to secede from the Union only 6 weeks after he became president. This is how much they oppose the Republican anti-slavery stance. Just to clarify, left, pro-slavery, Republicans, anti-slavery. What followed was a civil war, but either way, they lost, thank Christ. After the Civil War, additional amendments were added to the Constitution. The 13th Amendment, which freed the slaves, and the 14th Amendment, which cemented citizenship for blacks and for slaves, or former slaves, and the 15th Amendment, which gave men, black men, the right to vote. Now, what about Australia? Who afforded the Aboriginals the rights of voting? Robert Menzies was a towering figure in Australian politics. He was also well known for his politically conservative positions and legislations, and it is he who assisted this country in building it for the better. Part of this conservative legislation includes campaigns for Aboriginal rights. This all gathered momentum during the Menzies era. During his time in office, Aborigines were still excluded from voting in Queensland and in Western Australia. It was 1949 when Parliament finally legislated for all Aboriginals, including ex-servicemen, to finally be able to have the vote. The Commonwealth Electoral Act in 1962 stipulated that all Indigenous Australians have the right to enrol and to vote at a federal level should they so choose. This was the conservative right. Not the left, but the right. To the right, to the right. Regarding women's rights to vote. Women had proactively been seeking their rights to vote because they wanted to contribute to society. Several organizations offered their support to the female suffrage movement of Australia. This included the Christian Women's Temperance Union, as well as the Social Purity Society. The most influential suffrage group was the South Australian group, the Women's Suffrage League. This group was established by Mary Lee, Mary Colton, and then they were joined later on by well-known social reformer Catherine Helen Spence. Mary Colton, a female heroine of her time, someone we can look up to today. A committed Methodist and Sunday school teacher of young girls for over 50 years. Mary Lee was a born leader, committed Christian, and had also adopted socialist reformist ideas. It was her efforts that actually aided in having the South Australian group, the Women's Suffrage League, be the most influential in South Australia. Female suffragists struggled against prejudicial traditional views that were embedded in society and law at that time. But it was because of these women that we first got the vote. Now, not all females wanted to be able to vote. Let me make that clear. Many did not want the vote. But because of these women, we now have the vote. What about in the United States? In the United States, the fights for women's rights took activists and reformers almost 100 years to win. This campaign was a Herculean task. It was the 1850s when the women's rights movement gathered momentum. However, during the Civil War, it lost favor. After the Civil War, the 14th and 15th Amendment were included in the Constitution, and this raised similar questions of suffrage and citizenship. Again, it was Republicans, Christians, who were committed to the cause of women's rights. Not the left, not the Democrats. In 1862, the Moral Anti-Bigamy Act was passed by the Republican-controlled portion of Congress to end polygamy. It was 1920, a whole 52 years later of Democratic Party opposition, when the 19th Amendment was finally ratified. It was Democratic President Woodrow Wilson, a lefty, who was forced to draw up his opposition to women's rights. The war on women was led by the left, not by the right. So, I hope you guys appreciate this little piece of education. There was far more to the list that was offered to me, but honestly, I think this goes to show you how little the left really knows about their own history if they really believe that they gave women the vote, or that they ended slavery, or that they gave Aboriginals the rights to vote. They didn't. It was always and has always been the right. Anything good that happens in society, just think it was probably the Christians. And again, I say that right now, cocky, because I can. I know for a fact that Christians haven't always done great for society either. I'm not that far into the echo chamber that I'm blind. But you lefties are. Anyway, please share, like, and subscribe, and remember Rational Rice TV and BitChute. And please subscribe to my Telegram. Bye guys. God bless.